What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jimmy James 59, and as I am trying to both experiment with more content and also experiment with posting videos more on the regular, I wanted to kind of shift things up a little bit. And you know that I like to put build order videos and that kind of thing and interesting games on my channel. But the thing with putting up build orders is that I kind of feel like I need to show you only games where, you know, they work. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the point of a build order guide. And at the same time, I really like just kind of watching games. And for you all who are watching it, some folks have mentioned in the past, right, when I've done some game cast of my own games, right, you kind of know if it's a build order who's going to kind of win in the end. Basically, what I want to do here is I want to experiment with some content and casting some games at the intermediate level, right? We're doing it live, and just so that way, you know, we can like go through our thoughts together, so to speak, right? And you know, obviously, I don't know any of these players, and I also want to highlight the strengths of players in the game as well, who, you know, maybe just aren't known to, you know, anybody. Maybe they never will be, but to get into that kind of intermediate elo range of, you know, I would say anywhere like 1400 and above, it takes a lot of skill and a lot of time. And so, you know what, it's kind of worth honoring. I think it's worth honoring those individuals. And so, hey, you know, everybody gets their 15 seconds of fame or minutes of fame. I don't know. So found this game, right? Again, we're just watching it live, and we're gonna hopefully see if this is a good one or not. And ooh, the first lesson to note, after I talk about all of the skill that's gained at this elo, right? Even players, both of these players are in their 1600s. Even players who are 1600 can kill the boar with the TC. Now the real trick, though, the players who are high quality, right? Everybody makes mistakes at a lot of levels, but the players who are high quality know how to react. So let's see if our blue player can react, right? Now we see down to the south, right? So let's go ahead and try and set this thing up. I'll zoom out just a bit. We have the Cumans in the south, right? Cumans have a pretty nice base here with back gold, back berries. It's not that difficult to walled up. The only thing I don't like about this base is that your resources are just a little forward in terms of the wood. But in terms of things like gold and berries, pretty good here. It'll be really interesting to see what our Cuman player goes for. 4 on wood, which could indicate a 2 town center start, right? So again, you know, if you're going scouts, you're not going to need that much on wood. And I think generally the meta today is to put less on wood for most aggressive builds. So 4 on wood makes signal. I think this is a pretty juicy spot for a town center. But if you want to go kip checks, you want to try and get to stone, this is also a pretty good spot. It's just you already kind of have a lumber kip there. Anyways, we'll see what it looks like. On the north, we have our Hun player who is already down 1 elephant. And I also don't think his map is doing him any favors. This side is very, very open. The berries are forward. The gold is pretty forward, right? You have 2 forward wood lines. I mean, this one wood line is very far away from his base. The map for the Huns is really, really icky, folks. So not only does our Hun player, starting off not as good of a position, I think, but, well, you can see, you know, he's not the best map. And you can also see that despite losing a boar, our Hun player is already up to the next age. Take a look at this. Virtually no idle time, right? So again, this is, you know, everybody can make some mistakes. But what differentiates these players who've been there before, right, who've made those mistakes and that skill level, is they don't let it throw them off. They don't let it cause them to have, you know, a ton of idle time, right? They just go ahead and they react, they adapt. You can see it looks like he lured in pretty much all of his deer. And yeah, he's not going to have the food that he wants to play it super aggressive, but that's okay, right? I'm going to go ahead, get a barracks up. Definitely looking like a scout opening. And nobody on gold there, so that's also telling the story we have there. Our Cumans player is doing a 20 pop-up time. A little bit out of time there at the TC. Kind of trying to wall up on this end. We are not seeing a barracks just yet. So something for us to keep in mind as our Hun player is up to the next stage, getting the eco upgrades, but it's not gonna have that food to really get. I'm gonna zoom in here. It's not gonna have the food to really get that fast scout opening going, right? A little disappointing. We're seeing scout, right? Trying to slow down that. Slow down that a little bit. And well. Okay, so it looks like we're going to see a move to stone. And notice this, right? Delaying loom for a bit faster uptime. It looks like our, again, this is where that awareness comes in, right? It looks like our scout player noticed that, and our red player is going to lose a villager because of that. Now, he's going for a 2-town center boom, so he's going to get caught up in this pretty darn quickly. So, might not come back to bite him after all. And our player in the blue right now is where you can see the fact that not having the extra food there, right, is really kind of hurting this aggression. Now, it was probably going to be difficult to punish anyways, and is our red player going to lose a second villager? Wow, so our player in the blue, this scout is getting a ton of value. However, being able to convert this into aggression is something that we're not going to see quite as easily. But our blue player is going to be using the scout to figure out where the town center is. And so this scout is still going to be able to get information even if at this point it can't fight. And well, despite our blue player being kind of behind, this is a situation where, you know, it's not the worst. And I gotta say as well, you know, our blue player, for as bad as a map they have, if you're gonna be the Cuman player, you might want to ask yourself, in this situation, do you really want a 2TC boom? Or do you want to play it more aggressively, take use of your cheaper stables, your cheaper archery range might be nice, and just go forward? I mean, this is an extremely vulnerable area. It's not walled up. Our Hun player is playing open. And by going for 2 town centers, our Cuman player is not punishing it, right? So we're going to have to see what the villager advantage actually looks like for our Cuman player. And as we catch a pause in the game, again, we're doing this live, so we're going to take the pauses as they come, folks. There was like a little chat here. I'd interact with the chat at this point, but I suppose I can just speak to you, dear viewers, kind of about the setup that we're going to go for on this channel. Is my real intention, if you know this is the kind of content that some people like, as we're going to get back started, is that if this is the kind of content that people do like, to upload some kind of cast, whether it's of a game I played recently or a game that I watched, I'm going to try to keep it games actually that I spectate, just to keep the just because it's a lot easier for me to cast and kind of have the hype and have that good sense of humor and everything when I don't know the result. Otherwise, I think I try to explain too much of what's going on in the game. And, well, you know, like, that might not be fun for everybody. And then on the weekends, my plan is to upload things like tier lists, civilization concepts, other kind of more, like, research-oriented videos that I think that you're probably more familiar with my channel for. Build orders I'll probably do as kind of a weekday thing, because I kind of treat those as, kind of just as cast in a lot of ways. So, pretty interesting game so far. Not a major Vil lead for our red player just yet. You can see the idle time is having something to do with that. And our Hun player, well, at some point, though, is going to fall behind a bit in villagers. Right now, it's only 3. But again, not making villagers on the way up to the castle age. And I'm thinking about how to react to humans, right? Our blue players really, I think, taking advantage of this, I want to say, well, quite well, right? Knowing that the Cuman player, right, is not going to go for any aggression, and he doesn't just know this because he's seeing the second TC. He's scouting, he's looking for production buildings, right? He's really doing a nice job keeping tabs on his opponent, so he knows he can play open, and he's going to have to think about how he wants to respond, and it looks like he's going to send 2 villagers forward, right? This could be something like a siege workshop. Now, a red player is aware of this, and this is what smart players do, right? You know, just kind of trying to deny that for a little bit. Going to be kind of walling in here, kind of an odd. I don't know why you necessarily make these walls, but very interesting. And it looks like, right, our red player, who does have a barracks up. Okay, very interesting. Getting some spears out. Maybe he's worried about knights, or I really don't know, actually. And it looks like we're going to see, I imagine we're going to see a siege workshop. Never seen anything quite like this, though. What's he going to put here? What's he going to put here? He's just going to walk away? I have no idea what's going on. You can fight this. The scout's going to come over, but the scout's kind of weak, but just taking out one villager could be good, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. Very chaotic game right now. Some good resources, and you're going to lose one villager. Might lose the second. I don't know. The second villager's really down, so this is a really good instance where we have some nice scouting from both players, helping them out. Looks like this villager is going to stay alive, and the siege workshop is going to come up here. And now we see those palisades deleted. Okay, that's cool. And it looks like we're going to see a siege workshop, so some kind of a night siege play against the Cuman player, who is up by 20 villagers. However, is nowhere close to the castle age at the moment, though with this economy, right? I mean, take a look at all these farms. You're never really that far. And this spearman defense, I think, is extremely interesting. I would have never thought to play it this way, but our Hun player's going into knights, and well, what he's doing is he's really slowing down this push, right? Making it difficult for the knights. It's going to be difficult to fight 5 spears, all with forging here, excuse me. And the Cuman player is just buying himself time so that way he can translate this 20 villager lead. This is a really interesting, right, macroeconomic setup. And well, it looks like our player is going to try to break in here, cause some havoc. We're going to have to see how, right, our red player responds. And yep, our red player does respond by getting that house up very good, and is on the way up to the castle age, right? So if you're the blue player, you really have to think about getting the aggression out in these spears, right? There's some down here, and the other ones are chasing, right? So we lost 2 spears. It's going to get pretty difficult for these spears here, but they have bought some time. Now red, right, just needs to work their way up to the next stage. Now, our Hun player is playing this 1 TC, and this is really interesting, right? It's going 1 TC. This is a tough scenario, right? In that, at this point, right, the upshot of this is that, well, you feel you're never going to catch up in economy. So you feel like you're kind of forced into this 1 TC play. However, if you're going to be losing units, that kind of thing, you're not going to have a big economy to replace them. So it really is a difficult situation. Now these spears are dying like crazy. This point is only 1 mangonel. And the red player is going to have a massive economy to get units out. Now one of the difficult things for the Huns here is that our Cuman player can just go ahead and make camels, which should counter these knights decently, right? These knights with no upgrades. Meanwhile, forging is already in, right? No bloodlines for these knights so far. Again, you don't have an economy. Oh, as soon as I say it, Jim Stradamus has it come in, right? And it wouldn't surprise me to see something like maybe a camel knight mixture here with a huge economy. And yep, camels are out, right? No big surprise there. The next attack upgrades. These camels are going to actually be doing an interesting job here. Now, again, this is what distinguishes this, I would say this, you know, like really intermediate to high level gameplay, is that our blue player has monks that he's going to use to try to convert the camels. So if you're the red player, right, and I think a lot of us in these situations would think, oh, I just make camels, it counters the knights, and then I can clean up the siege. But it's not so simple, because these monks are here to convert the camels. So you have to be very, very, very careful, right? It's going to go ahead, right? I was going to show the camels. Ooh, our blue player is taking a pretty nasty fight with these monks. Not in vicinity just yet. But, yep, now the camels are out. It's going to take the camels a little bit of time to kill these monks, though. One gets converted. And this is the issue with going camels. You don't have a lot of DPS. And, well, it's not going terrible, but it's also not going great. Because, again, you know, the monk really didn't die there. You lost the camels. Well, our blue player is pushing. However, our blue player is still down 26 villagers, though. 1 TC down, right? It's going to be kind of hard to get in here. And is he going to donate some more camels to his opponent, right? Our blue player is not using the monk here. And the monk goes down, but at what cost? Pretty major cost. It's got more monks in the way. And this is, I mean, this is a clash of styles here. This is macro versus micro. This is, you're building that economy versus this aggression. Gosh, right now we're seeing a pretty even score, though in favor of blue, but a lot of that is probably just due to the high KD, which again, that's what you're supposed to be doing with this push. And if you're a blue player, you're not pushing right now, and you're just falling more and more villagers behind because you are stuck on one town center, right? Sold the stone for this push. So this is where it gets really tricky, right? We have the monks to counter the camels, and our red player is not adding, it's not adding monks. It's just gonna stay on camels here to try to do the job. And well, are we gonna see the conversions come in? All right, we have the conversions. We have 3 monks out in the field, and the 1 camel's converted. I think 2, maybe 2. Is that monk gonna go down? That monk goes down. However, having to trade the army to do it. But here's the thing, right? Again, thinking about these higher concepts, right? Red is trading an army that they can continuously recreate. Blue is trading an army that they really don't have much economy to recreate. So it's a much bigger strain as we see our blue player now adding another town center. But these camels are going to go out and they are going to find it. And this could very much distract from this push. As now, these camels are going to find some value. Remember, they do have both attack upgrades. And this is not good. Really, really smart move from our red player, who's just going to use this to increase their vill lead. And well, now you have to send back units, which is going to slow down the push, right? So, really nice play. We see this looks like it'll probably get up to 6 villagers killed here. Well, maybe even 7. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. And the push is being slowed. Meanwhile, we have more action on the front. However, right, it does look like our blue player is going to withstand it pretty decently. Though a mangonel goes down. Huge value from that camel. Though it will almost undoubtedly get converted. And yep, there it goes. And well, we see more camels. But are these camels just going to be donated? He's just trading camels at this point. Very tough, not really getting value there, but got a ton of value from the raid in the north, and he now has a 37 villager lead. But look at the score. The score is not that different, but the question is the score lying to us, right? As we see more monks, right? We have more monks in the queue as our blue player tries to sustain this push, and we see the pikemen upgrade, right? How many barracks do we have? All right, we see a second barracks coming down, so it's going to be preparing to respond with pikes. Not a bad option with Cumans, who do get fully upgraded halberdiers. And it looks like our red player is going to go back to the well for a nice little counterattack. So the question is, what is our blue player going to do? You can see here, right? Not a lot of resources to replenish this siege for our blue player. That's the problem, right? That's the problem, is if you can't get that damage. And our blue player really, they took down a town center here, which was not that bad. But just unable to quite get it going. Meanwhile, This is the problem with having that open map. The counter raids are coming in. Another villager is down. Maybe get another villager kill. Slowing down the already not so good economy of our blue player, who does still has that military lead, but is now down 40 villagers. And this is the big question, right? With all these pikemen in the queue, how is our blue player going to respond, right? The economy really isn't there to create another sort of unit comp, right? It's hard to have an economy where you have two different units that you're making. And we're seeing this with this like camel pikeman kind of combination. We're seeing just a full pikeman transition. Can our blue player transition to something else? With only 66 villagers, this appears unlikely, and it seems that our red player is going to click up to the Imperial Age. I would have to think this is going to be momentarily. Yep. Chimchidamus again. And we're seeing another town center come in, but the question is, are we too late as we have a little attack there? Our red player does not need to fight there, right? If they trade army here, again, right, when you have a 40 villager lead, you can go ahead, you can replace these pikemen. They're cheap. That's a unit that scales well for the Cumans. You know, you have a lot of protection here. Honestly, it's not bad. But we do see this fleet of knights. Can our blue player get some villager kills, run around a little bit? I don't think we're going to like to see this here. Not a great fight. Might have just patrolled into that. Maybe thinks that he needs to fight here to thin out this army, but, well, he's doing a pretty good job of it. And I gotta say, not bad. He is missing +2 armor, so raiding underneath the town centers is going to be difficult. But look at this military lead. Right, so our red player is going up to the next age. However, our blue player has a really big military lead. We're seeing more pikemen come in. We're seeing the scorpions, right, which will help thin out the pikes. So the question is, what is our red player going to do for this lead, right? This is the classic military versus economy approach. I love it. And +2 armor is coming in, as I think we're seeing an all-out Castle Age push. And now the eco KD is starting to go up. We have more and more camels. We have more and more pikes, right? We have the monks here to try and help defend against the camels. And, well, our blue player, right, really situating themselves in here. The villager lead's been reduced down to 15. Red is on the way, going to hit the Imperial Age. Will blue resign? Blue is not going to give up. We see, right, all in Castle Age approach, killing the villagers up to 19. It's a 6 vill lead. It's a 5 villager lead, and we have the military. Blue is on 3 TCs, 35 farms. Is this push going to work? 13 pikemen in the queue. This is incredible. The all-in Castle Age approach. How many stables, right? We see 1, 2. Right? We're seeing another stable go up. Blue is committed. 36 villagers. Blue has the military lead. Blue has the military lead. Can Blue do this? Can he do this? He's got a 30 villager lead. He's got the 30 villager lead, and he's wreaking havoc through the Cuman territory. The farms are going down. The pikemen are going down. There is barbecue sauce all over these farms, ladies and gentlemen. Folks from around the world. And we see, right? We're going to see camel conversion. 1 camel conversion. Not bad, not bad. In a matter of moments, the villager lead has been flipped entirely. Flipped entirely on its head. Can our blue player do this thing? Here's the problem. The military numbers have been reversed now, right? Now we're evened up. We have 1 player stuck in the Castle Age. We have another player in the Imperial Age whose economy has been damaged. Where does a game like this go? Looks like our blue player is going to try to get a bit more rating in, and our red player is moving forward. Looks like blue wants to try and defend themselves, and our blue player is trying to work their way up to the next age, going for this castle. Do they have the buildings otherwise? It looks like, yes, they have the monastery and the siege workshop. And well, blue is on the way up. Red's economy. Remember, red is still just on 2 TCs. So this has been such a strange game because, well, this 2 TC approach, it's really hard for our red player to actually go ahead and refurbish their economy. This is incredible. This has been an incredible game. 40 villager lead now belongs to blue. And we have our red player is just full pikemen at this point. Right? And our blue player is on 3 town centers, trying to work this back in the game. Let's go ahead. Let's check eco statistics here. And red still has a 3,000 eco lead, but we suspect that that's going to change here as the game goes on. And as we see a 3rd town center come up, protecting some wood, not so bad, but it's going to be pretty difficult now for our red player, right, to raid this area. Now, this is pretty vulnerable, as we do see knights coming, but are knights the best option here for our, against an opponent who already has their upgrades in? Both are going to have, you know, if you want to go cavalier, pretty similar, right? Huns will create faster, Cumans will be a little bit more speedy. I don't know. This is the game that's been interesting from the jump, kind of hard to predict, and it looks like our blue player is going to try to find a little bit more damage, and kind of settle in here, just passing, and it's gonna, let's see, ooh, a lot of kills. A lot of kills there. Yep, got, 3-4 villagers. All right. Now we see pikemen come in as well. A little bit of raiding here. Really nice little counterattack there. And uh-oh. The pikemen are here. You're not going to be able to destroy this town center. You got to get out of there, my friend. And he gets out of there pretty well. Not bad, not bad. The Eco KD is majorly in favor of our blue player, who really just played this to a T. Our red player can afford some things now, getting that economy a little bit back up. Again, not a great economy for our blue player, who does not have that many villagers on gold right now. Trying to get to a 4th town center, right? Probably sensing that economy is also great. We'd love to see a town center on the gold here. This could get difficult to push, and our red player is going to have the stone for a castle. Not that long from now. And we see the halberdier upgrade. So once again, right, it's up to our red player to try and defend this thing. We see stables in the western portion of the map, right? Maybe try and find a safe landing spot from which to raid. It looks like our red player is trying to scout around a little bit. Probably a bit worried. Oh, looks like they're probably searching for relics too. This is something that you see in these games that are, I think, are a little bit more higher level, right? Players are a lot better at getting the relics. And well, look at this, right? We have the halberdiers in, and that's going to counter the cavaliers here. So once again, who's leading this game? Now that the economies are starting to normalize, our red player is just passing, just chilling, Oh, it's going to go back. Gonna take out some villagers that are on gold. Not a lot of villagers on gold. And a militia, right? Wanted to get into the party. Seeing a town center on this. Gonna catch that monk. The halberdiers are gonna have a little something to say about that. They should counter these pikemen, or these halberdiers should counter pretty well here. And well, looks like we're gonna see halb and siege barracks coming down from our Hun player. We're not talking Hun longswords, are we? Stop it. Who has the lead? I don't even know anymore. Right? It's back up to 90 villagers. Red has the military lead now. This game has just been a back and forth seesaw. I mean, blue has a major score lead, but does he does he have the right position? Cuman halbs are better than Hun halberdiers that miss the last armor. And that matters. That makes a difference here, folks. As we see some raiding from our red player. That's one of the things that red has done really nicely this game, is taken some opportunities to raid with very small amounts of units. And well, we have Halb Siege and we have this big Cavalier army. But what is it doing? Well, looks like it's going to try and take out this TC, and red's just going to move on. We'll almost certainly lose this town center now with Cavaliers and that kind of DPS out there in the field. But this castle looks like it's going down. These halbs, right? He's got enough halbs to where he can send this out. Blue has a 2,000 score lead. But he's losing castles. He's on a unit composition. I don't know. But if he goes Cavalier and Halb, is that enough DPS to respond here? Is it enough? Now this is not a fight I like to take under this castle. I don't like this. If you're our red player, who is still raiding a little bit with, I mean, you see the Eco KD has kind of merged back a little bit. And well, all right, looks like we have a combined force here. I don't know. I mean, this castle, I think, is going to stay up. And these Cavaliers are going to go try and find some damage. 20 villager lead for our player in the blue. And our Cuban player doesn't have Blast Furnace yet on those, Ooh. Oh no. You gotta see this! How would you know? How would you see? No way! That's insanity! But you can't go Palisade Walls, mi amigo! The Palisade Walls, he saw it, but it doesn't matter! Palisade Walls are nothing! Absolutely nothing! Say it again! I mean, ooh, and now his economy is going to take it on the chin just a bit. However, is he going to lose these Cavaliers? I mean, blue does not have very much army. This forward, this, you might say this get out of my game TC is, well, he's going to have to get out of the TC for himself. And this is just a back and forth affair. I mean, our blue player has a 3,000 score lead. And yet, despite all of that, I still don't feel great about their position. What I do like about blue is they've spread out across the map really, really well, right? He's got gold now, and you got to look at this, right? Our red player, right? He's going to take this gold back, which will be, pretty nice for him. He really needs this gold. I don't know if these halbs have arson, but I do know that they're missing the last attack. And our red player does not have any gold right now, so he's going to have to take this back. And he will get it. Yep, he's going to reclaim this. And 87 military, right? I mean, that is... Wow, but our blue player's got the bill count up. Think here. 3 trebuchets on the way. I mean, he's just full halb. What do you guys think about halberdiers? Are halberdiers, like... I hear people sometimes say that halbs are the most overpowered trash unit right now. I don't know. I don't know if that's right. I hear some people say skirmishers for a while, hussars. Maybe I should do a video. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see a video on trash units. Meanwhile, right? Not a lot going on there. He's keeping this. He really wants to press this castle. But our blue player really wants to keep whittling away. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, mi amor. That's gonna hurt. I almost want to see a town center go up there. Honestly. But the halbs are there to contest. So, not as... Well... Yeah. Red has lost a decent bit. He's got more, and now he's getting Blast Furnace. So he's... Because as of right now, the Hun halberdiers are actually maybe slightly even better. Squires coming in, okay. But these Cavaliers, they're just going to run around now. And look at that. He's having to recreate. Gosh. I don't know. I mean, he's got some of his halbs fighting down here, but then he's going to lose these trips? Is he going to take out the castle, though? Wow, it got the job done. But look at the villager count. As meanwhile, are we seeing a Cav Archer switch at the 1 hour mark? We see archers. Is this a misclick? Gotta be a misclick. Gotta be a misclick. I think Blue's gonna do this thing. I think he's gonna do this thing. If he can get the Cav Archers, he's got the eco. He's got the castle. Only one trebuchet for our red player whose economy is stretched to the limit. Now he can't reproduce these halberdiers. This game, and our blue player's at 200 pop. Blue is going to do this thing. No way. And red calls it, drops the GG well played, and resigns. Well played to both of these gentlemen. Or whoever they are, right? Wow. This was something else. This was something else. What a game. Blue score didn't lie in this one, folks. Blue got up to the next age and he was readying for a switch. I mean, look at how Blue is spread across the map. This game has been totally cool. Let's just check these stats here so we can go take a look, right? Our blue player, who was down by resources, got up, got a major resource lead later on, had the KD, right? We saw a different style of play here, right? Got to a higher villagers. Ah, man. This was a great game. I hope that you all enjoyed this. You enjoyed the first of what I hope will be mini Jimmycasts as I try to add some interesting content to the channel. Man, there's a lot of great players in this game out there. A lot of great folks out on the ladder. Shout out to, we'll just call this Jocko99, El T-Rex. Man, both of these guys, they just play solid. If you see these guys out there on the ladder when you're playing, definitely give them a shout that you respect them and that you know that they're pretty good at this game. So be careful of them too. That being said, guys, I am Jimmy James 59, and I'll see you out there in the ladder. Peace.